Hello, everyone, and welcome to our weekly winery update. I'm your host, Amanda, and thank you so much for joining me. I've got a lot of exciting stuff to talk about today. We check in on the vineyard. I've got a special treat. We're going to introduce you to our new assistant winemaker. Of course, Allie's pouring something super delicious, and I've got a bunch of events that we have coming up here, too. But first things first, let me know what you are sipping on in the comment section. I am drinking some Saturday sangria tonight. We filled a bunch of pouches of Saturday sangria today, and I just couldn't resist. It sounded so good smelling all the Saturday sangria when we were filling the pouches. Like, that sounds really good for tonight. I had a little bit of the Marquette Rosé when I was at the winery, and then now finishing the night with some sangria, so we got the wine pouches of Saturday sangria filled, and then hopefully we will be getting more bottles filled because we somehow sold out of Saturday sangria this last weekend, which doesn't surprise me. It was a busy weekend for sure. If you saw us this weekend, either at the winery or maybe out and about, you may know already. We had double music last weekend, and we were at the Tallman Arts Festival. We were able to bring the blind out there, and that was a lot of fun, taking the blind out to our first event. Have to say, I think it was a big success. It was a lot of fun being able to, even though it's not fully finished, but it's definitely done enough. And so we took the blind to the Rock County Historical Society at the Lincoln Tallman House, and we had it set up. We were doing wine by the glass, and then we were also doing cheese boards there, which turned out really fun too. So if you haven't seen, we posted pictures, I think yesterday or on Monday, we posted a bunch of pictures from that event too. And we're hoping to take it to other events here in the near future because it was a lot of fun. The cheese boards were, I think, a great addition since it was a Sunday afternoon. It was really like the perfect weather. They had music. One of our favorite bands, Gary the Band, was out there. So just being able to sit out under the shade, under all those big old trees and listen to music and drink wine and everything. So I'm really glad we were kind of a last minute add-on, but it worked out perfectly that we were able to be there serving wine and bring the cheese boards too. So hopefully we can start bringing the blind out to more events around town, maybe even like the farmers market to do cheese boards and everything. So if you guys have any events that you know of that are coming up, please let us know. We would love to keep bringing it out around town. Looks like Connie's drinking some Traminette. Big shocker there. I know that's definitely her favorite. I know I don't usually drink Saturday sangria, but I was in the mood for something sweet. It's been kind of hot. I've gotten a little sun recently, and so just kind of in the mood for something refreshing here. But so good. Like, I think the dangerous thing about sangria, I feel like I could drink a whole bottle. Like, a lot of times I like to add ice and then even like some sparkling water or soda water to help dilute it, because I can just drink a whole bottle like no problem. So well, first I want to introduce you guys to our new assistant winemaker. Sherry just started with us. This is like her first real true full week at the winery, and so she is going to be taking over our Tank Talk episodes here on the update. And so this week we're just gonna see who's Sherry, who's this new woman back there working on all the wine. So here we go. Meet Sherry.
Hi everyone, I'm Sherry. I'm the new assistant winemaker here with Amanda at Timber Hill Winery. Just wanted to take the time to introduce myself. I grew up here in Wisconsin on a pig farm near Black Earth. And after that, I went to college and moved around the country studying and researching microbiology. For the last 12 years, I've lived near Milwaukee, teaching and working there. And for the last 4, I kind of re-educated myself in wine and spent 6 months in California making wine there. So I'm really excited to be here and to learn a lot from Amanda and the whole Timber Hill crew. Thank you.
So there you have it. There's Sherry, our new assistant winemaker. And you guys will be hearing more from her on a weekly or even more basis. And I've already got a couple of different tank talks and things planned. And I'm personally very excited to have another microbiologist on our team. And Sherry's got some really great experience from working out in California and just a really strong science background too. So another person to help with all the experiments and things that go on in the behind the scenes in the winemaking side of it. And so she used to be a professor too. So I think she'll be a really good teacher and letting us film her and hopefully show you guys more of the behind the scenes footage and teach you what it takes to make wine, pretty much. Well, we have a lot of stuff going on this week, so I probably better get into some of that. If you missed it tonight, have no fear. It'll be happening again next Wednesday. Bags League started out this Wednesday, and that'll be going on through the end of September. So teams of 2, you can just show up, come on out for our Bags League on Wednesday nights. Then tomorrow night, I am really excited. We have our wine book club meeting tomorrow night at 6 p.m. This month's book was Jennifer Weiner, That Summer. And it was a really good book, really fast read. And if you are a speed reader, you might be able to join us tomorrow night. Or even if you haven't read the book, sometimes people show up. They're like, I didn't have time to read the book, but just still wanted to come and have a good time with the book club crew. We meet usually about once a month. So we didn't meet in July since July is just kind of a busy month for a lot of people, but we'll be meeting again in September. So if you can't join us tomorrow night, then stay tuned for the September book and date. In the meantime, as a good summer read, I recommend reading That Summer. I make the mistake of reading some of these books. I either read them like a month in advance, like as soon as we find out what the book is going to be, I'll like listen to it and be done with it. And then like a couple weeks later, it'll be book club. I'll be like, oh yeah, what was that book? And then sometimes I'm like speed reading it at 1.5 speed and the like day before book club. So we hopefully I've got this book read, but I've also been reading some other new books here too. So hopefully I don't get those like mixed up in my head in the meantime. But we've got book club going on then tomorrow night. Then Friday night, super excited. We have decades trivia coming back and we are doing 2000s trivia. So the year 2000 to 2009, I would say. So just the 2000s, the turn of the millennium, I guess. So that is going to be on Friday, August 6th and August 20th, both at 6 p.m. So if you had fun at our 90s trivia back in June, you should definitely come out for the 2000s trivia. I did okay at the 90s trivia, but I was pretty young in the 90s, so I'm excited for the 2000s trivia. I feel like I'm going to have a better idea of what happened and a better memory of things. So August 6th and 20th, it's going to be 2-part again. So just like with the 90s trivia, it's the actual trivia is like super long. So we split it up into 2 different nights. And if you can make both nights, that's awesome. Otherwise, if you can only do one or the other, that's fine too. The more you come, the more your chance of getting a prize would be. And the winning trivia team always gets a free bottle of wine for their next time. So come on out for 2000s trivia. Teams can be 2 to 6 people. So we will probably be going live too, depending on how busy it is at the winery and if our technology is working that day. So we're going to have 2000s trivia on Friday night. Then our friend Dwayne Warden is going to be coming out on Sunday at 2 o'clock. So if you haven't heard Dwayne at the winery before, he is amazing. He plays really some of the best like winery music. It's perfect just sitting out on the patio and relaxing, drinking maybe some wine slushies, etc. So Dwayne is going to be coming out on Sunday from 2 to 4. And I'm excited. The last time that Dwayne came out was for our fish boil. And so that was like pretty much just for people who had the fish boil tickets. So this time, anybody can come and enjoy Dwayne's voice. So Dwayne, he plays the guitar, but a lot of times he plays the keyboard too. So come and check him out. I'm not kidding. He is very talented. Okay. So we've got Dwayne coming. That kind of is what's happening this week. I think next we should check in with Allie and see what she is pouring this week on Poor Decisions. And then we can talk about all the other fun stuff we have coming up. So let's see what Allie has pouring this week.
Welcome back to Poor Decisions. Today we're going to use part of our summer collection, the lemon wine, to make a lemon julep. All right, so starting in our glass, I am gonna break up some sprigs of mint. Oh my God, that smells so good. I'm so excited to drink this. All right. So that altogether was like 4 leaves of mint. It already smells so good. And then I'm gonna grab a quarter of a lime to squeeze in. And now we'll muddle it together. And once that is all together, we're gonna grab 5 ounces of lemon wine. And then ice, of course. And then we're gonna top it off with some club soda. Oh my gosh. I'm excited! I love mint in my drinks. Oh, it smells good. A lemon julep, let's try it. Cheers. Got a little piece of mint. That is refreshing. I'm not really sure what the difference between a julep and a mojito is, because aren't they just the same thing with different liquors? I think that might be the deciding factor. I'm not really sure. Nonetheless, lemon julep, lemon mojito, whatever you want to call it, it's good. So cheers.
Oh, Allie, the lemon wine, this drink was very good. The lemon wine, I think, is such a good base for a lot of these mixed drinks. I think out of the whole summer collection, the lemon is definitely the most underrated because it can be used in all these fun drinks. or like you can mix it with just blueberry and do like a blueberry lemonade. Yeah, we need to like do like a whole blog post about just the lemon wine. I know the girls posted a blog post about the summer collection and cocktails for each of the different summer wines, but I feel like the lemon needs its own just whole page on the website of like what you can do with the lemon wine, because it's seriously like instead of having to add like lemon juice to it, it's a really good wine for mixing some of these wine cocktails, in my opinion, because it's really refreshing. Like I honestly think it would be really good mixed with the sangria that I'm drinking and make a little spritzer. But yeah, this was probably one of my favorites that Allie has made in a while. So just I'm a sucker for mint, and that should lead me to my next thing here. So I love mint. So I always love mojito. I don't know what the difference is between a mojito and a julep either. I guess we're gonna have to dig into that further. But speaking of mojitos, juleps, mint in your drinks, the slushy flavors for this week are mojito and blue raspberry lemonade. So this week for the mojito, we took Edelweiss, our previous July wine of the month, and added the lime juice and mint, and it tastes amazing. I know just tonight somebody was Facebook messaging and saying, "What's in the mojito slushy? It's so good." And it really is. So the mojito one, can't go wrong with that. The blue raspberry lemonade, though, that was definitely the popular one today. That's like everybody who came to the winery today. I'm like pretty sure like 90% of those who came to the winery today were drinking a blue raspberry lemonade slushy. And okay, so it has the blue raspberry flavoring added to it, and then it's lemonade, and then it's a yellow, white wine. So it has like this really pretty, it almost looks like mermaid muscat, the color of the blue raspberry lemonade. It's like that teal color. I know Mel asked me if she could put glitter in it because then it really would have looked like mermaid muscat. But putting glitter into the slushy machine just made me nervous. I feel like once we put glitter in the slushy machine, all future slushies are just going to be glittery, which you guys might like. I probably, considering how popular the mermaid muscat is, that probably would be a big hit. But the blue raspberry lemonade one is also very delicious and has a beautiful color. So these are our slushy flavors for this week. And we do have some stock of some of the old slushy flavors. So if there was a flavor recently that you're like, "Ooh, that sounded really good," but you couldn't come in that week, then send us a message or just come in and see what we have for previous stocks. So what we do is on Sunday, when there is maybe still some slushy left in the machine, we will package it up in a bunch of the to-go containers and put it in our big freezer. And then if people come in and they're like, "Oh my gosh, do you still have any of that blue raspberry lemonade flavor from last week?" And we check the back freezer. And if we do, you are in luck and you can buy up the stock from last week. So I'm totally blanking on what flavors are in the freezer right now, but there's a pretty good amount of them. So if you have missed out on some flavors, then come on in to the winery and ask us about what's in the back in the freezer. Ooh, Jenny's drinking a mojito slushy right now. Oh, I'm jealous. I was very tempted to bring a to-go one of those home, but I kind of was in the mood for sangria. So maybe tomorrow night we'll do mojito. Who knows? It's almost the weekend. And Julie's drinking some Throwback Thursday, but she thinks the lemon drink looks delicious. Yes, I know. Julie, that's no surprise you're drinking Throwback Thursday. We've got a bottle more of that as soon as possible. I can't believe we're already getting low on that one. Speaking of my favorite wine, it is now somehow August. And for this month, it's going to be Marquette Rosé for our wine of the month, which is, I think we can say it. I think it's fair to say this is my favorite wine. I love them all, but just like children, I think it's okay to have a favorite. And Marquette Rosé has been my favorite lately. And that is why we planted a whole bunch of Marquette vines in the vineyard. And I went out to the vineyard. Sherry needed a little field trip. I wanted to show her our new place and how the vines were looking and everything. And while I was out there, I took a little update video for you guys. So here we go. Let's see how those vines are doing. Hey guys, it's Amanda. I'm here checking in on our vineyard. You can see behind me. I'm turning the camera so that you can see me and the vines right here. So I'm 5'8", and this Itasca vine is definitely over 5 feet tall. So these guys are growing up very quickly. They're gonna be taller than their mother of vines here very soon. So I wanted to give you a little peek and check in here on the vines. So let's see how they're doing. Like I said, this Itasca is at least 5 feet tall. It's looking really good. One thing with the vines that is the biggest problem is the Japanese beetles. So you can see these leaves have holes in them, and that's from those beetles snacking on our leaves here. So right now, that's our biggest concern in the vineyard, is getting these vines sprayed. There are a couple different chemicals that we have to use to help with the Japanese beetles, and one of them is called 7. And so we just need to be spraying the vines and continuing to keep up with all these weeds too. So you can see right now it's looking pretty good, but sometimes there'll be some weeds like what we've got down here. So keeping the vineyard nice and clean. So this is all the Itasca vines behind me. As you can see, they are looking very tall and beautiful. And then we've got our Marquette vines over here on this side. They aren't quite as tall as the Itasca, but they are still looking really good. I know a lot of people have asked about the drought and how the vines are doing. So vines actually really like all this dry weather, and so the vines are living their best life and thriving, as you can see. I think next time we check in on this vine, she's definitely gonna be taller than me, so that's good. Grow, vines, grow. Here's your vineyard update for this week. Oh, it was so fun to go back out there. I honestly haven't been out there in like a week or two, and the growth and everything, it was crazy. Some of the vines, we'll have to, next time I go out there, I'll have to take a bunch of photos and some better videos. But I'm used to either having the camera on like a tripod or putting the filming where I can see what I'm filming. And so it was like thinking backwards on like, oh, I'm actually in like selfie mode of the filming. And so it was hard to videotape and capture the things that I was trying to capture. So, but some of the vines, it's crazy. They just like almost look like bushes. And it was really cool to see that, the rebar that they are growing around, the vines just keep naturally kind of crawling up it. There is some tape that we can use, And maybe I'll have to show that in the next video of the tape that you use to kind of tape the vine to that rebar so that it can help it kind of keep climbing. And then depending on how things go, we'll either put in a trellis system this fall or definitely in the spring. So the next step then will be to put that trellis system in so that the vines keep growing, and then they grow just like on my shirt, like grow out then too. So that's good that they're growing up nice and tall. I loved that that vine was like the first Itasca vine from like basically where the building is going to be. That was just like the first Itasca vine. Had I probably gone deeper into that vineyard, there definitely are some vines in there that are taller than me. So it's really exciting to see all the growth and progress. There are some vines that unfortunately did not make the cut. And so next May, we will be replacing those. But the number of vines that are growing versus not growing, it's a really good rate, like very high rate of success. So our vines are growing and looking good. I want to talk quick because we've got a couple of events coming up here soon. If you haven't yet got your ticket to our Herd tie-dye event, that's coming up next week. So make sure to get your ticket for that. Let's see what else we've got. I already talked about Bags League. The fish boil, I do want to bring that up again. We are going to be doing another fish boil in September. I don't think the tickets are out for that yet. Probably next week, the tickets will be coming out for that. So stay tuned for that. Oh man, we've got all kinds of fun stuff coming up for new wines. We've got the Dragon's Breath. We're working on that. That should be coming out very soon. We're pretty much just waiting on labels for that. And then we're going to be doing a special wine for the holidays. And Mel was just kind of finishing the label for that. She's our new label queen, I think. She does such a good job designing the labels. So coming up soon, we're going to have maybe another glitter wine. There's your hint. Mel's been working on the label for that one, a new wine with glitter in it. Then hopefully the fall collection for next month. So we've got a couple new wines, but right now we got to focus on getting oldie but goodie wines back in stock because Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday are out of stock. We did get Monday and Saturday mixed up and ready to go. So that's going to be next on the bottling line. And like I said earlier, Throwback Thursday is like critically low. So we've got to bottle that one again. And thankfully we have a big tank of it, but it's just not quite ready. So we've got all that good stuff coming up. Oh man, Renee wants to know, how was the first go with the blind? It looked amazing. Thank you. Yes. So we took the blind out to the Tallman Arts Fest on Sunday. Everything went really well. We made up a whole bunch of cheese boards at the winery and packaged them up in a big cooler. And we took those out too. And now my next step is at the Tallman Arts Fest. We don't go through like a ton of wine since it's a Sunday afternoon kind of event. It's not like a huge party or anything where people are going through kegs of wine. And so we just brought bottles and pouches, but we are getting ready for Chili Mania. I think that might be the next event that we take the blind to. Hopefully we'll have some other events before then, but for sure Chili Mania, it's going to be there. And we are going to be doing kegs of wine there. We did kegs of wine at the Rock the Grounds event, and it worked out really well. So our next step with the blind is to get the kegs and everything in there. Oh, Christy wants to update on the cherry mead. Yes, that's another one of the wines that is coming along here. Like I said, we need to get Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday back in stock and make sure hopefully Thursday doesn't run out of stock. And then we can hopefully get some of these other new ones bottled, like the cherry mead, the dragon's breath. And then it'll be time for fall collection. It's just been crazy. And we got to keep emptying our tanks too, because harvest season's coming next month already. And we need lots of empty tanks for all those good Wisconsin grapes too. So yeah, the blind is doing well. Wine is coming along. It's going to be a really busy month. And it's already August 4th, so I have a feeling this month is going to fly by faster than I can fly. But I'm really thankful that we've got Sherry on our team now, and of course, all of our other amazing team members too. Mel's been doing a great job planning the events and everything. You guys, of course, know Allie's amazing work with the pour decisions, and hopefully her cocktail mixers are going to be coming out really soon too. She's been working really hard on that. Yeah, everybody else has just been working hard, keeping the tasting room up and running too. So it's been a crazy summer, and hopefully we can keep the boat afloat, I guess. Well, if you guys have any questions or need anything, let me know. I'm ready to go just sit and drink my rest of my glass of wine here and enjoy the night with my dogs. And we'll see you guys all very soon. Thank you for joining me. Bye, guys. Cheers.